Walk out to your garden right now, in the middle of August, and it probably looks tired. The tomato leaves are curling at the edges. The lettuce bolted weeks ago. The soil looks cracked and pale, like it has given up. Most gardeners look at this and reach the same conclusion. Everything seems to be telling you the season is over. That assumption quietly costs thousands of gardeners their best fall harvest every single year. Because what looks like a dying garden above the soil is often the most productive moment of the entire year below it. Here's the strange part. If you buried a thermometer beneath your tomatoes right now, you might discover the soil is still holding on to weeks of summer heat. And that changes everything. While the leaves above the soil are struggling in the heat, the soil itself is doing something most gardeners never think to look at. And if you understand what's actually happening down there, August stops looking like an ending and starts looking like the best planting window of the whole year. By the end of this video, you'll understand why August isn't the end of your gardening season. It's the beginning of your next one. But first, you need to understand what's happening where almost nobody ever looks. Most gardeners judge a plant by what they can see. Nature doesn't. When August heat hits, plants above the soil do something called shutting down non-essential growth. Leaves wilt on purpose, to reduce water loss. Flowering slows, because producing fruit costs more energy than the plant wants to spend in extreme heat. From where you're standing, that looks like failure. But underground, the soil in August holds 3 or 4 months of accumulated summer heat. That stored warmth doesn't disappear the moment a plant looks tired. It just changes what it's useful for. Instead of pushing leaf growth, that warm soil becomes a near-perfect incubator for something else entirely: germination. This is the gap most gardeners fall into. They read, "The garden looks dead," as a signal to stop, when it's actually a signal to look somewhere else. Down, not up. Air and soil don't follow the same calendar. Even when mornings begin to feel cooler, the ground is still remembering summer. That stored warmth is one of the biggest reasons August can outperform spring for starting many fall crops. Think of your soil like a brick wall after a sunny afternoon. Long after the sun disappears, the wall is still warm to the touch. Your garden behaves the same way. Which means it holds on to heat for weeks after the surrounding air starts to shift. In most of the country, soil temperature in mid to late August is still sitting in the ideal range for fast germination, often warmer than it was in May, when most gardeners did their spring planting. That's the part that surprises people. Spring soil is cold and slow. Seeds sit there, unmoving, for a week or two before anything happens. August soil is the opposite. A seed dropped into August ground can crack open and send up a sprout in a fraction of the time it took in spring. The mistake is assuming that because the plants above ground look stressed, the soil itself is a bad environment to plant into. It's not. It's actually working in your favor, and it won't stay this warm forever. Every week that passes, that stored heat drains a little more. This is why timing in August isn't about waiting for things to look better. Every sunset steals a little of that stored heat. Which means every week you wait, this invisible advantage gets a little smaller. One of the busiest parts of your garden right now is completely invisible, because it happens below the surface. A plant that looks completely stalled above ground can still be extending its root system underneath. When top growth slows down from heat stress, a lot of plants redirect their energy downward instead. While you're looking at tired leaves, the plant has shifted its priorities. Instead of building more foliage, it's investing underground, building a larger root system that you'll only notice weeks later. Searching for cooler, moister soil layers further from the surface heat. It's a survival strategy. If the top of the plant can't be productive right now, the plant invests in infrastructure instead, building a root system that will support a much stronger burst of growth the moment temperatures ease off. That's why so many gardeners are shocked in September. The plant they almost pulled out suddenly becomes one of the healthiest in the garden. It wasn't dying. It was preparing. It's not luck. The plant spent August quietly building the root system it needed, and you just couldn't see it happening. The takeaway here isn't just about your existing plants. It's about what this means for anything new you plant right now. A seed sown in August isn't just entering warm soil. It's entering soil that rewards root development first, which is exactly the head start a fall crop needs before cold weather arrives and growth slows for everyone. There's a third thing happening underground that almost nobody talks about, and it might be the most important one: soil biology. Beneath every square foot of healthy soil, billions of microscopic workers are already on the job. Breaking down organic matter, recycling nutrients, feeding roots you'll never see. Their activity roughly doubles for every rise in temperature within their comfort range, up to a point. That means the same soil that felt sluggish and cold in early spring is, right now, running at close to peak efficiency, breaking down compost, cycling nutrients, and making them available to any root system that's there to use them. This is a very specific kind of opportunity. A seed planted in cold spring soil is germinating into a slow, low nutrient availability environment. A seed planted in August soil is germinating into an environment where the nutrient delivery system is already running at full speed. Most gardeners think of August as depleted, as if the soil has been used up by the summer crop. In reality, the soil is often more biologically active right now than at any other point in the year. That tired-looking August soil may actually be delivering nutrients faster than it did back in spring. It just needs something to plant into it before that activity starts to slow down along with the temperatures. So here's how you actually use all of this. You want crops that can take advantage of three things at once: fast germination in warm soil, strong root development, while the plant is still building itself, and a harvest window that lands after temperatures cool, not during the last blast of summer heat. So what do smart gardeners do with this short window? They stop fighting August and start using it. Something like a fast-maturing lettuce or spinach variety will germinate quickly in this soil, use the active microbial environment to fuel early root growth, and then mature into cooler weather where the flavor actually improves instead of turning bitter. Root vegetables fit this pattern almost perfectly, too. Carrots and beets sown now spend their first few weeks building root structure in warm, biologically active soil, and then finish developing as temperatures drop, which is when they convert starches into sugars and taste noticeably better than anything grown in full heat. And fast brassicas, quick maturing varieties of things like turnips or Asian greens, are built for exactly this transition. They use the current soil conditions to get established fast, then lean on the incoming cooler weather to finish strong. The common thread isn't plant these because it's August. It's plant these because they're specifically built to exploit what's happening underground right now, before that window closes. So the next time you walk outside in August and your garden looks like it's giving up, remember what you now know that most people standing in that same spot don't. The visible part of your garden and the productive part of your garden are not the same thing. The wilting leaves are a surface-level story. Underneath them, the soil is warm, the roots are working, and the biology that feeds every plant you'll grow this fall is running at close to full speed. That combination doesn't last. As the weeks pass, the soil cools, the microbial activity slows, and this particular window closes. Your garden isn't dead in August. It's just busy in a place you weren't looking. If you want to make the most of what's happening underground right now, that means getting something into the ground in the next couple of weeks, not waiting until the leaves above the soil start looking better, because by then, the advantage will already be gone. So before you write August off, walk back outside. Ignore the leaves for a moment. Look at the soil instead. Because your next harvest may have already started. Even if you can't see it yet. Tell me what your garden looks like today. I'd genuinely love to hear where you're gardening from and what's happening in your beds right now. And if you enjoy learning what's happening beneath the surface, not just what you can see, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is all about.